Welcome back to Roll Incorporated. I am your DM Matt. Since this is our second time playing, I think we're going to just go around and introduce everybody real quick. Caden, living in Canada here on Canada Day, is played by Scott. Canada Day is Canada's like July 4th Independence Day. Only instead of like going to war over it, I think they politely asked.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Sorry, but can we be independent? Oh, yes. Sorry about that. Clara is played by Jackie. Herd is played by Kel. Magda. Yep, I keep pointing at my screen. Magda is played by Zoe. And then Olivia, our other Canadian, is played by Ray. She is also the one who does all of our artwork. Feel free to shout her out on her Twitter, at Ray of Frost. It's on the bottom of the screen. So I have no announcements because Jackie decided that she didn't like the sound of my announcements and wanted to take it over. So I'm putting words in her mouth. So Jackie is doing our announcements for today. So take it away, Jackie.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Dice Cult and Roll Incorporated. Our first episode was last week. If you have no idea what we're talking about, you can find that episode on our YouTube page or at the Dice Cult here on Twitch. Highly suggest you keep watching this episode, though. You can help out the Dice Cult and us by following our Twitch channel here. Twitch allows us to do a lot more things when we have 100 followers, and we're at 85 right now, so hit that follow button. Feel free to check out our YouTube page to watch after the fact if you need to dip out, and follow us on Twitter at _Roll Inc. That's at _ROLLINC, where you can see some of the amazing artwork that Ray has made and chat with us. If you're interested in some of our house rules, the chat box command for Twitch is !NRI, and the links to our socials, where you can find all of these links for the platforms I've mentioned, is !social. So smash that follow button, turn on those notifications, and keep watching for more quality D&D content. And I had to say that because Matt thought I wouldn't. It's all yours.
We're better for hearing it.
No. Every time somebody says smash that follow button, I think brain cells die. Just a couple.
I'm sorry, I didn't do the hand motions. Smash that follow button.
Better. We should all do it at the same time.
Yeah,
No.
just like simultaneous.
3,
No,
2,
no,
1.
we're moving. No.
Oh my god.
Interesting home rule that I was going to forget, but now that you've reminded me of, is I don't give out inspiration. Everyone else gives inspiration to each other. And if they don't give it out by the end of the game, it's mine. And I have 5 of them because nobody used them last game.
The rules weren't described last game.
Yeah, you didn't describe it for the audience.
Exactly.
So...
If the audience didn't know.
Yeah. Smash. Everyone did the smash. Let's see. With 1 inspiration against each of you. Okay.
I would like to give inspiration to everyone for doing the smash.
No, that's not the way. No.
I don't think it works that way.
That doesn't work that way.
It should.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So let's, I think, get started. I have a message here. Kevin, you can't hear us. Are we good? All right, we're good. Awesome. When we last left our intrepid adventurers, I believe they're named themselves the Tram Fam.
It's a working title.
It's a work in
Working
progress.
title,
Yeah.
Because they met on the tram, I think.
And we are a fam.
Yeah.
There's at least 3 of us. Fam.
All right. Well, when we last left them, they had gone and rescued 2 of the party members, Caden and Magda, who were about to get kidnapped by, some of Caden's old pals, apparently. After having rescued them, Magda introduced Clara, Herb, and Olivia to her boss, and who knows what else, her quest giver, Anthony Thorne, and one of the advisors in the city of Ujamaa. The advisors are the second in command to the sages who run the entire, nation. And then underneath of them are the advisors who handle the day-to-day running of a country. Anthony asked them to look into God's Inn, which is where the gods, when they went to sleep 5,000 years ago, this is where they sit. He said some happenings have been going on that have made him concerned, and as such, he would like the Tram Fam to go ahead and head over there and take a look at their convenience. And he offered them a substantial reward, I believe, of 100 gold apiece for doing so. They accepted the mission and agreed to meet at Chester's Chest the next day, a shop that none of them have actually ever been to, so I don't know how they're getting there. But Chester's Chest the next day, and make their plans from there. And that is where we pick up, is at the beginning of the next day. Everyone had gone home and rested up and healed up. And as the day comes, Olivia, you are up early in the morning, as you always are. You clean your armor, or put it on if it was clean the night before, and get ready for your day as a watcher. As you head out and head towards the tram station, you hear the speaking eyes, as they're the town eye, as it is a message in a gem that just sits there and spews a message out, and behind it on the wall is an image. This is basically like the town crier. It gives the news of the day, and it's updated at night for the next news. And sometimes it's not updated for a while. But around this, at the tram station, as this eye is proclaiming the news of the day, it has gathered quite the small crowd. Most of the people in the area where you live, Olivia, take the tram to and from the deeper parts of the city, because this is not the richest section. And so there's a lot of people who use it. And a crowd has just begun to gather, listening to the news, as it is apparently quite interesting. And as you sort of meander over by just to hear the edge of the crowd, you hear that it is giving two messages. One, it states in a very polite voice of somebody reading a script, a crack has been found in the wall. The Watchers are moving units out to handle it, and Sages Highhammer and Edelin are positioning themselves there to solve the problem. Report any suspicious monsters or creatures to the Watch. Do not panic. This has been contained. Wanted, alive, Ken Fury. As Rose, the champion of Olardun, was unlocking the seal. To awaken the gods, the thief, Ken Fury, stole a piece needed to wake them. He is wanted alive. Do not apprehend yourself, as he is dangerous. Reward of 15,000 gold for his capture. And as it goes over the message about Ken Fury, a picture of Ken Fury is plastered up on the wall. The message repeats itself, and the crowd is talking amongst themselves. And as they notice that you're a watcher, some of them begin to come over to you to start to sort of ask, what is this with the crack in the wall? But your sour expression and your, folded arms and glare make them think maybe we'll ask a different watcher. Of which there's one on the tram station, so they go over and start talking to him, who is happy to have the crowd, and talks about the crack in the wall and how the Watchers are taking care of it, and he has no clue what he's talking about. The rest of you, Caden and Magda, do you roll out around 11 o'clock, as is your norm, or you get up a little earlier today?
Probably the normal time.
Okay, so
Caden will be up a little earlier. Be inspecting one of the earrings that they were given the night before.
Right. It's a magical earring. It doesn't seem to turn off in your presence, which is unusual for you. A new experience. And as you attune to it, you realize you know the location of the other earring.
She's still in bed.
Does Caden have his ears pierced?
Caden does not have his ears pierced, but he's not 100% certain that this is the right earring for him at the moment, as it's this long dangly earring with an emerald, a green stone of some sort.
It was blue, wasn't it?
Was it blue?
Yeah.
It's blue.
Blue. Oh, maybe it is then. He likes blue.
Excellent.
But
It was just the color.
a 3-inch earring. With
That's not the
like,
dangly part; it's the color.
Color.
okay, yeah.
It has to go with his
Teardrop
outfit.
blue sapphire.
You know, it kind of looks like it might fit on your belly button.
We'll just, find
Throw
a
it in
needle.
your teeth,
We
Evan.
have one, certainly.
Oh, sure. He has one in his medical kit.
Oh, yeah.
Clara and Herd, when do you guys get up? Herd, you don't have a job anymore.
Yeah, I got laid
you were
off
let
from
go.
Yeah, I got laid off. Laid off is the correct term, from the Goblin Trash Association. And this is like a rare and unique opportunity for me to sleep in, and I'm going to take advantage of that.
Okay,
So,
so
I
you
don't
roll
know,
out
like
probably
11.
around 11 as well, instead of getting up early at 5 o'clock in the morning, which you had to get to the the GTA. And then Clara. What time does Clara roll out of bed now that she no longer has school?
Clara would probably still be pretty accustomed to waking up early in the morning, and this morning she wants to use her kind of any extra time she has to summon her familiar.
Okay, yeah. So you take an hour, you wake up early in the morning, you take an hour, and you summon your familiar. What is your familiar?
It's an owl for now. It's a barn owl that can like hop up on her shoulder, which she immediately regrets because her shoulder is unprotected by her caster's robes, and so she's gonna have to think about that a little bit harder. But it's not the biggest owl. Like, he's a pretty small barn owl. Probably looks a little like he's just past molting.
Okay.
A little
Does
awkward.
he have a name?
Yes. His name is
Okay.
Kafka.
Kafka the owl. So you get your owl summon. Spend the rest of the morning tidying up the shop, getting it ready for your dad to have a day. Now, Clara, your dad owns and operates a tinker's shop, which is basically a pawn shop for magical items, and he has, taken, he's attempting to invent his own stuff, but for the most part, he sells useful and amusing trinkets and other magical gear, as well as mundane, regular, run-of-the-mill things that you need. He is not a large shop, not a small shop. He does just enough business to keep you guys enough food and have sent you to a good school, which he is still paying off. But he knew some people there and got you in, and you were skilled. So got it on your own merit and a little bit of coin. As the day rolls around, you each pass one of these town eyes as you make your way. First, asking around. Clara, you probably ask your dad. Heard you've been around a lot of the city, so you might have an inkling of where Chester's Chest is. Magda and Caden, how do you guys find Chester's Chest? Because this is completely outside of your norm.
Huh.
I feel like probably just like pay for a ride and hope that tell the driver Chester's Chest.
Okay, you hop into
Another expensive carriage.
Another expensive horseless carriage. They're like black cabs in London. He goes, "Yep," and he takes off and drives you to Chester's Chest. You can mark off 5 gold for that ride.
Magda, we got to stop spending money on this, though.
Do you have a better way to get to this place?
Today I don't know, but I mean, we're spending a lot on these carriages.
All right. Well, now we know where it is. We won't do it again.
Okay. All right, you're right.
Till the next thing. Olivia, you wouldn't have a hard time finding it. Simple matter of going to your barracks and, hey, who knows where this place is? And somebody pipes up and lets you know. But when you get there, it is your barracks serves the one of the larger sections of the city. You guys serve the pink section. So I will actually pull everyone to this so that way the viewers can see the map that I'm looking at. This is the city map sectioned out, and your district covers this pink section here. And as you are moving into your barracks, one thing that's very different is that there are probably 200 watch members here, which is very unusual to have them. They're basically lining up into marching order, and you're watching as several of them are just like marching out in these clumps of 50 at a time, hitting the road and there's about 200 left. And based upon what people are saying, about 500 watch members have been pulled in from all over the city, and now everyone's running on like much fewer watch in the city, and they are just being sent down to the wall. That is the most of watch in one place, but it is basically a standing army in this one location on the wall. But as you kind of make your way through, the sergeant, your sergeant, lets you know that your orders came through. You are now assigned to the unit and organization that deals with the burials of the dead. Handling and taking care of the dead. You are now underneath the direct command of Anthony Thorne. Your sergeant is like, what did you do for this guy? Like, those came through overnight.
I met him on a tram. I think I made a good impression. Maybe.
Yeah, well, he's got some clout. Hang around with him if you want a promotion.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan. And you got my papers. I'm renewing.
Yeah. Thanks. He looks him over. Your handwriting is just
It's
chicken
terrible.
scratch. Yeah, these will do. He sets them aside. Well, good luck. You're not under my command anymore, but if you need me for anything, let me know.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, maybe they'll assign you a partner.
I gotta go. I leave.
You guys find yourself around noon.
Top. So good at this.
Around noon, you guys find yourself at Chester's Chest, standing in front of this tiny, narrow building that is maybe about 30 feet across. And above the door is, instead of a sign, it's an actual chest, and it looks like it has wings on it. And on both sides of the chest engraved is Chester's face, and the words Chester's Chest over top of it. It's a lot on the sign. And you guys kind of gather up outside, sort of rolling in around the same time. Magda and Caden get out of a horseless carriage, expensive ride. Most of you know that these things are rather expensive to move around the city in. They climb out of that, and Clara comes up. She's got an owl on her shoulder. Herd, you overslept because of the unused to being able to do this, and realize that if you're going to meet them, you aren't going to get a morning coffee, and so you rush up. Here you are.
Can you point out on the map roughly where in the city it is?
Sure. It is. I have to zoom in because it's really tiny. It is roughly right here. Let me pull everybody to that. I think what is it? Shift, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep. And I'll have to make a mental note to that for myself.
It's on the stream now. No,
yeah, it's on the stream now. That is actually, I actually forgot how much you guys were promised for your reward. And as such, I had to go watch the stream to find out. So here you all. You are all here.
Where's
Well,
the
it's
coffee?
good to see you again.
Good day.
Forgot the coffee.
Yeah, I slept in.
Did you, the three of you, get your official business done downtown, whatever you were doing yesterday?
Yeah. How was your day
Yeah.
with the corpus?
I mean, it was actually uneventful, though could have gotten better news.
I imagine courthouse dates are rarely good news.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
Though it
Nope.
wasn't for us, obviously.
Now we're
Right.
all criminals, all of us.
That's clearly why you're part of the watch.
That was a joke.
Didn't know you made those.
I just decided.
We'll
We
keep
should
practicing.
Work on it some more. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was very funny, Olivia.
Thank you.
Right.
As you guys are standing there talking, a man walks up to you, and he's like, "Oh, it's about time you're here." Olivia, right? Magda, Herd, Claire, Caden, yeah. This is for you. He takes a small chest, he places it on the ground. Sign here, and he
I'll sign it.
hands. Yep. He starts to hand it to Herd because he's the biggest, and then you say you'll sign. He hands it to you. Doesn't really care. You sign it. Thank you. He sticks it in a small pouch and walks over to a carriage that is drawn by a metallic horse, and he climbs up and kind of heads off. And as you open this chest, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 pouches with 25 gold each in it.
Only 4.
Only 4?
Olivia was there on a mission. She doesn't get a reward.
Right. Caden will reach in and take 2 of them.
I'll hand the other 2 to the, or I'll offer the whole chest to the other 2 or other 3.
Okay, and I'll grab my my pouch.
This hardly
Yeah.
covers the tension of yesterday, but at least it's a start.
Yeah, Claire's
Claire,
gonna grab a pouch and like start counting them through and put a few in her own, and then offer the rest of the pouch to Olivia, like not looking at her at all, not making eye contact, just offering it to her. No words.
She takes it. No words.
How much did you take, Clara?
I would have split it evenly in half.
Well, 25 doesn't split evenly in
Oh,
half,
right.
so
I probably would have given her an extra 1.
okay.
So not
Oh.
say anything. Again, you
So
don't know
get
that.
13 gold, Olivia, and 12 for you, Claire. All right. What do you guys want to do with your day?
Well, I assume we need to head to God's Inn?
Yeah, to deal with the ghost or whatever.
At least to see what's happening.
Yeah,
For a
well,
start.
I suppose that's the main quest, but there's a ghost there, right?
He said there was a ghost.
He said there were rumors of a ghost.
I'm hoping for a ghost. It sounds fascinating.
Do you know
Well,
any
I just
possession prevention techniques?
Not
I
really,
didn't-
no.
I didn't think of that. Just like flipping through one of her notebooks.
I'm
I
sure it'll be
say-
fine.
We go and see what's there, and then if it is a ghost, we can do our research.
We'll just politely ask not to get possessed and then go research about it.
God's Inn is about a 2-day journey out of the city.
Oh,
and do we know what that is then, right? 'Cause it's
Yes,
a
this is
fairly
like
common-
knowing where the national monuments are in Washington, D.C.
Ooh.
Like, this is the location of where the gods are sleeping. People make pilgrimages there. This is well known.
well, then maybe we should research on the way instead.
Okay, I think we should set some ground rules after yesterday. This
Ground
is
rules.
pretty sudden for. Look, I don't know why Anthony asked you to work with us. I don't know why you're here. We don't know any of you. And yesterday didn't go. I thank you for your assistance that you offered, but I think we need to just recognize that there was some tension here yesterday, and a little bit of I don't know, we'll call it backstabbing. And I just want to establish that we're all apparently working on this together. I don't know why, but we'll follow along because this is what Anthony has asked for us to do. Let's just stick to work here. Remember, we're on the same side for this, whatever this is.
I mean,
Of course.
I seem to remember we helped you far more than any potential backstabbing that never actually occurred.
Could you just put it out there? Just say what the backstabbing was, and maybe we can address it.
Oh god, we're gonna talk about feelings again.
Look, I think you say she's your sister, and he points at Olivia.
Yes.
Yes.
She's accepting as a watcher bribes to look the other way while a group of armed vagabonds attempt to abduct Magda and I.
And how does that make you feel?
Are you doing training to be a
Distrustful.
therapist?
No, but there's great power in therapy.
I think you should consider it.
Olivia, do you have anything to say about this? Not the therapy part, but in response to Caden.
I'm trying so hard to keep a straight face, and it's not working. Okay. I think that you can't prove that I took any money to look the other way, but also I never did anything violent against you. So, and I tried to arrest someone. So technically, I was helping.
Technically,
is
she
why-
backstabbed the people that bribed her because they
Yep.
gave her money and she didn't do what they asked.
Exactly.
Right. And those mitigating factors are certainly why we're still here today.
Are you saying you've
but-
never bribed anyone or taken a bribe? Are you a perfect
Not-
person?
Hardly. I just want to establish that there's a little bit of distrust here on my part. And I'd like to make sure that we just stick to what we've been asked to do here. And
You don't seem that trustworthy to me either, so I think it's mutual.
as long as there's an agreement.
As the party agrees not to trust each other, what are you guys doing?
Before we head off, I'm gonna pull Caden to the side. Caden, dear, I think we have to have a talk about thankfulness and tact.
I'm so glad you didn't say feelings.
Oh man.
Magda, I know you trust Anthony and his decisions.
Oh, you think I trust Anthony? Anyways, these people are our friends. Or at least we're trying to get them to be our friends. Let's start at that point.
My daggers are sheathed.
Keep your words a little sheathed too.
I'll
Just
let you
a
do the
little.
talking. Fair enough. I'll let you talk.
Should we head out? Now that we got that little bit out of the way.
Yeah.
Are
mean-
we just going on a 2-day journey? We need to prepare. We need supplies.
What
I mean,
supplies do
we're-
we need?
Tents.
We're at Chester's here. Do we want to go in? Is there anything of interest here?
He did say something along the lines of, well, I kind of saved his life and saved his whatever was in that box of his, and so maybe he might help us. Maybe he
say
might
it
give
this
us
Some free
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
some
let's go.
free shit. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. I think we should go in.
Only in D&D, where players hear discount and instead hear free shit.
Yeah, I
It'd be 100% discount.
I took notes that said discount.
I heard free shit. So
That's what he
think we-
said. I'm fairly certain about it. He said free shit.
Okay.
Olivia takes charge and walks in.
All right, you walk in. There's a small dangle of a bell over the door. You enter into the shop, and it is rather narrow, but it goes back quite a ways. And you see lining one of the wall chests. There's big chests and small chests, and things that are shaped like chests, but are probably actually dressers. And there's just all sorts of any kind of chest that you want. They are sold here at Chester's Chest. On the other side of the wall is armor hanging up on lots of different just hooks, different kinds of armor, leather armor, breastplate armor. Basically, if it's an armor style, he probably has it. Things that might cover your chest. But then in the center, going down two shelves going down have different weapons and spears and other things. And then at the far end of the shop is a counter. And standing on the counter is this tiny gnome, and he's sort of not standing. He's actually sort of just laying down with his head in his chin and taking notes in a book. And when he hears the bell ring, he hops up and straightens himself up and looks around and says, "Welcome, welcome! Hey, you guys came."
Chester, it's good to see you.
Yes, it is good to see you as well, my giant friend. Would you like to buy a chest?
Oh, well, Chester, it was my understanding that there would be free shit.
Straight to the point.
He looks taken aback, and then he just laughs. "Oh, you're such a jokester. Oh, I can't give things away. Actually, I can give stuff away for free. Here." And he reaches over and he pulls a bowl over, and in it are assortments of candy. Help yourself.
I'm gonna give myself to the free shit. Yeah. I'm gonna eat some candy.
Yeah. The candy size is gnome size, so you have to eat 4 of them to they're tiny ones. But he goes, I can't offer you anything free. I am running a business here, but I can give you a discount. What are you guys in the need for? Oh, I got my boots approved, so I can sell those as well.
Congratulations.
How much do those go for? Just curious.
Well, given that they're one of a kind, invented by yours truly, and there's literally none other pair of them anywhere, I would sell them for 1,000 gold. But because it's you guys, I would discount it 25%.
We're gonna have to come back for that.
Maybe when they're mass marketed a bit or mass produced a bit.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, in order to create something like that, I had to use the feathers of a rock, and that's a creature that's outside the wall. And those are very difficult to come by. I suspect I could also make them using the feathers of flying horse. I can't remember what the name of that is.
Pegasus.
Pegasus. Feathers of a Pegasus, a little bit of blood of a unicorn. But both of those are also equally difficult to come by. So I don't know that I'll be able to recreate these for quite some time.
You've got some armor up on the wall there.
Yes, I do. And he hops down, and he has these little stairs at the end of his counter, and he just sort of walks down them and walks over to the armor rack. Come over here. Depends on what kind of armor you want. I have a little bit of everything. I also have, if you are needing something a little bit of light, I have a special set of armor that I had custom made, and I helped with the enchantment process of mithril armor over here, some mithril plate mail. Only 2,500 gold pieces. That's probably my most expensive piece of armor. But outside of that, I have the general leather armor and some weapons. I have a couple magical weapons as well, if you would like some of those. I'm not really. Most of my customers are in the arena, and I know you. I don't think I've ever heard of you guys. You guys don't fight in the arena, do you? As a team, no.
No.
So yeah, most of our customers are combat oriented. So I have some stuff like that. I also have some potions and things like that. Regular old healing potions. You gotta always keep some of those on store. stuff like that. I do custom enchantments. That's my bread and butter, really. The things that you need, I make. That's why I sort of did that side project for the boots.
Sorry, go ahead, Kel.
I'm going to be frank with you. We have.
Oh, okay. I thought your name was Hurt, but hi, Frank.
Oh.
Yes, I'm going to be frank for this conversation. We have like 300 gold between all of us tops. Well, I guess I don't really know these two very well, but I can't imagine they have. I mean, just look at them. But so maybe we could. I mean, outside of some potions of healing, is there anything that you think might catch our attention?
Well, it depends. What do you need? Like, I mean, the young lady here, Olivia, is part of the watch, so she probably needs some good gear. But most of that is provided by the watch. But I mean, what do you guys do? What do you do that needs besides saving gnomes on trams?
We're going on an adventure.
Oh, an adventure. Well, in that case, you're going to need like tents and bedrolls and water skins and things like that.
Do you have like chests one could sleep in?
Yes, I actually do. Come right this way. And he leads you over to the wall.
Just coffins?
You know, a coffin is a kind of chest. I should add those to my inventory. But yes, he opens up a chest, and it's like a gnome-sized bed inside of it. And, there's some holes in it for breathing and stuff like that. He's like, if you live in a busy house and there's lots of people and you have a hard time getting your child to go to sleep, you can stick him in this little rocking chest here and close the top. And then, but I could make one human size if that's what you need.
Could we make it without the lid? Are there breathing holes in that? That doesn't seem safe.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
And the top has a leather flap that opens up so you can look down in, make sure everything's okay. But it sort of just keeps the noise out. If I make it without the lid, though, it's not a chest. Then that's just the bed.
And I suppose it has to be a chest for it to be sold at Chester's Chest.
Of course, Frank.
Right.
What about like a fabric chest, not made out of wood? Like,
now that is interesting. You're thinking like a backpack,
a tent,
like a big backpack that you could fit into.
Oh yeah,
tent.
bedroll. Yeah, you're talking about tents and bedroll. Yeah, I saw those. Of course, I saw those. You would think you'd know what a tent was if you're going on an adventure. You're going with them, right? He points over at you, Olivia.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Sound a little happier about that.
So he pulls out several backpacks full of equipment, regular gear that you would need. So tents, bedrolls, fire starting kit, stuff like that. And he goes, "This is basically what you're looking for, yes?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And so, what is this? This would be basically an explorer's kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember how much they cost. Anyone know how much they cost?
We could just make it up right now. It costs 5 gold.
I think it's
I think after the discount, sure, 5 gold a piece. Unless Ray looks it up and actually finds that it's like.
I'm good with 5. I'm good with 5.
So after giving you a steep discount, he sets you all up with everything you need for explorer's backpack, basically. For maybe Twitch chat knows how much it costs. Twitch chat, do you know how much this costs? Feel free to just put that in there, and then Kevin will pass that on since I don't actually have the Twitch chat open. But yeah, we're gonna charge you 5 gold a piece for this. Since you saved my life, there's your saving my life discount. And
they're 10 gold.
10 gold. Yeah, there you go.
You didn't have to.
Yeah.
See? Fine.
Did Twitch find it for us?
No, I doubt
You
it.
did. Yeah, so he gives you a 50% discount on them, and sets you up with Explorer packs. So for the sake of this, we'll just say that you have what you need to travel with. If you feel like adding this all to inventory, it's all there inside the items, underneath items, and then there's adventure gear, packs and containers, blah blah blah. So, oh wow, yeah. If you just pour an Explorer's pack over, it has everything you need in it. What do you know?
Oh.
Well done, Cal.
Yeah.
He set this all up. I appreciate that.
You can actually open it up and see like all the individual items in the pack. Pretty cool thing
Yeah, I
that
think-
you can do in Foundry.
Yeah, and because I have the module installed, you can actually make your backpack and a backpack that other items can go in. So, yeah. So you have everything you need. Are you planning on doing any research or anything like that, or are you just heading out?
I want to buy some armor from Chester.
Okay. What kind of armor are you looking to purchase?
Leather, preferably.
Yeah, I forgot you don't have any armor on it.
Any armor?
I mean, neither do
Magda.
I.
How size-wise, how are Magda and Caden in terms of similar sizes?
Oh, you gonna share armor?
Well, Caden's currently wearing leather armor and also wants to upgrade his armor.
While you're getting things at a steep discount.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you look at the art, they're like basically the same.
Yeah, she's a little smaller, but you could conceivably alter his armor to fit her.
Yeah, armor tightens down more than it loosens up. So yeah, your shoulders might be a little bit broader, Caden, but yeah, you can wear his leather armor.
Caden turns to Magda and says, I was thinking about one of the breastplates he has on the wall there. Might
Of course, he's
be an
also
improvement.
sells studded leather armor.
Sorry, what were you saying, Caden? The voice
Just,
from above distracted me.
I was just eyeing some of the breastplates he has on the wall there.
Sure, by all means.
But I'd need to, I might need to dip into some of the money you had as well.
Of course.
That
Of course.
all right with you?
Yeah. Buy your Buy your breastplate, or I'll buy it.
I've
Don't worry about
got most of it, I think. Let me check. Chester, the breastplate here, what do you sell those for?
Well, they normally go for 400 gold, but I'll sell it to you for 300.
Magda,
Sold.
could
Yeah,
I, like 50, if you don't mind?
I give him 100.
Okay.
Thank you.
You
So-
watch this exchange as they, Magda doesn't seem at all, concerned about the price. And then Magda, did you wish to purchase some armor as well? I couldn't help but
Yes.
hear you talking. I have
Um,
leather, but I also have some studded leather if you would like that.
I very well might. My question is, can you alter it for a custom fit?
Of course.
How long?
If you make the leather too long, it's basically a dress at that point.
No, I'm talking about time. How long would it take you to make the alterations?
It depends on the length and the detail of the alterations. I'd have to send it off somewhere for something super detailed. But small alterations, size and fit, I can do here.
I'm mostly just talking about fit to make sure it is excellently fitted.
Oh, do you want it under or over?
Over is fine. Just want it to look nice.
To match your look and style, I would have to have that custom done. It's beyond but I think it would take no more than a week.
How much for it?
I can't extend the discount to the custom work because that has to be done out of house. My daughter does that. So I would say the custom work would be about 15 gold if you want it colored to fit a color pattern. If you just want the cut and fit, that's about 5. The armor itself I could sell you for 35.
All right. I will buy the armor now, and I need it for a little while, and then I will come back to you and get it fitted.
Very well. 35 gold gives you some studded
Mhm.
leather armor.
Nice.
Shopping episode 2, shopping.
Clara, you
Yes.
like to read, right? I think the latest book I've seen you with is that 50 Shades of, whatever, Fae. So maybe, I think that might be a pretty ungodly book, but what would you think about, finding a book on the gods themselves? Maybe we've got a 2-day trip, right? You could read up on that on the way.
Yeah, I can look around for one. I could ask around for one.
Where would Matt, where would they be selling those sorts of things? Like do I have proficiency in religion?
Well, selling books is not so. Books need to be made on a hemp paper, and because all material is rather scarce, it has to be grown, cultivated, and cared for. Books tend to be in central repositories, and they are very expensive to just purchase. So Clara could probably go and acquire a book or the knowledge at like one of the libraries for the colleges. A lot of the colleges have libraries, and then they all feed into a central library system akin to the pulling off of my real world experience, the New York library system. But it is a monitored and maintained by the government to maintain books and things like that. But actual books that you can just take with you would probably cost a good 30 or 40 gold just to get a copy of it because of how expensive they are to make. The printing press has already been invented, so manufacturing books is a thing that can be done, but for the most part, it takes a lot to like make the paper and stuff like that.
Oh, never mind. We have plenty of time though. We didn't really have a set schedule that we needed to accomplish this by, right? Maybe should we spend a day and do some research, or should we just go? I'm asking all of you.
I'm always happy to do research. I can check with a few of my former classmates if they have a copy, or I can just go to the library.
I think we should look into the ghost problem.
Yeah, we might be able to pull on a couple contacts, perhaps, find out if anyone knows anything more about this Rose, too.
Oh, she's my new boss or something. She's a part of the watch. She got hired a few days ago. 3, maybe? I wasn't around during the time.
Sorry, I forgot
Not my boss.
something
but...
this morning. I forgot to tell you your sergeant told you that the rumor was false. Rose is not taking over the watch.
Never mind.
Yeah,
it was a rumor.
I forgot to put it in my notes as a rumor, just a false rumor. But yeah, I thought you might ask about it, which is why I just had a mental note. But no. She apparently, yeah, she's just a rumor. Rumors fly around the military all the time.
There was a rumor that she was the boss, but turns out it's false. Sorry, I spaced out for a second there.
Matthew Mercer, I am not.
Thank you for telling me this.
I don't know, thought it was useful.
Okay.
It was very useful. Thank you very much, Olivia.
It's
trying.
It's good to know that she's not necessarily a part of the watch.
Yeah. Considering what's been said, wouldn't want a torturing person to be part of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Could you remind me what was said about this Rose character?
Oh, so I'm going to tell the story when we're out of Chester's chest and there's no one else really around.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
So Kate and I broke into her house, and not her house where she lives, the house she bought in a neighborhood somewhere to the east of here and the west of here. I'm a little turned around. Sorry.
Not usually in this part of town.
Yes. Anyways, so we broke into that house, and she had dug a torture basement and had captured a gnome woman and was torturing her there.
We helped her escape.
Yeah, we got her out.
Did
Well,
you
that's good.
speak to this gnome woman?
She was rather traumatized and could have used a therapist, like a good herd here.
He's not qualified.
No, I know. I'm joking.
There's a
I'm
certification
joking,
that
dear.
I need to take some tests for, whatever.
You've
I'm
taken the
just
classes, but just haven't taken the tests fully.
But Anthony,
He's more like a student who's taken Psych 101 and thinks he knows.
Yeah.
watched a therapist work once.
Right?
Watch a
Been to a lot
YouTube
of
video
therapy.
about it.
No, Anthony took her away to recover and be questioned much more gently about what happened.
She's powerful. That's all we know.
Roses, yes.
Yeah, Rose. Thank you.
Yeah. You should definitely take
She's,
precautions.
She was the chosen one of the gods.
One of them.
One of them. The one that is order. Can't remember the name.
Lordun.
Lordun.
Lordun. Yeah, thank you.
What do you mean by chosen one?
There's some
That is-
specific in-game world building. There's a term for what she is, and I can't remember the word right now.
Champion.
Champion. Yeah, she's a champion.
So the gods long ago created champions. This is something that I think most of you would know. They would each select a champion. The gods themselves were not allowed to interact with the world. They set up rules where they could only interact through their champions. They give their champions power, and the champions would do things on their behalf. And so, since the Great War that founded the city of Ujamaa, no champions have come about. But recently, Rose, this would have been big news. Rose would have come about as the chosen champion of El Ordun, the first champion in roughly 4,000 years. So you would have heard the name, but this would have been months ago. So in typical, what's the latest news? It's one of those things where at the time it was super exciting, and then she didn't do anything exciting. So it's sort of like, oh yeah, I heard about that thing. Australian brush fires? Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're going to investigate or do some research, how should we go about doing this? Do we want to go to a library? What do you guys think?
Not my scene.
Not your scene.
I think the watch may have a bit of a library, probably. Yes.
They have a compendium of information in regards to things that they may encounter at some given point in time.
Okay. I can check that out, but I don't know.
Call
if
it
they
a
have...
monster manual.
They may have a few things about paranormal activity. I can check that out, but I don't know what they'd have about gods. Probably nothing.
Well, maybe you can find out something about the ghosts. Hayden, you said that's not your scene. So what is your scene?
I think I'd be better off once we get wherever we're going. I can usually scope a place out pretty good, but not much for books these days. It's been some time. I'm happy to read if you point me in the right direction, but I don't know where I'd start for research.
Do you know how to read?
That's
So,
a rude
Clara, it
question,
sounds
Olivia.
like
Well, he said to point it out. I don't know. Maybe he
he ignores Olivia and kind of turns to Clara, just says, "No, if there's something you want us to take a look at, we could do that."
I mean, I could always go look at the library. I could ask some of my former classmates. They might know, point me in the right direction for some of the books. I can always just check in. Research is my scene. Books are my scene. So unless someone could tag along if they wanted to, I'm always happy to share books.
I'll tag along.
Thank you, Herd.
Okay. So, Olivia, you go back to your the Central Information District or Bureau. Does anyone go with her?
I do.
You're with Clara.
Oh, sorry. I'm confused.
It's very hard. We are entirely different color schemes.
So
Don't you know
Herd
bugbears
actually
are
leaves with
colorblind?
Olivia,
Oh no.
confused by the request, and just kind of heads off with Olivia. Magda and Caden, what do you do with Clara after she gets over the?
I'll tag along with Clara.
Okay.
I'll go with Magda.
Okay, so Clara, you find yourself with these two new friends. You make your way back to your college, which is where you greet some professors on the way in. You have zero issue getting into the library, as you are a well-known face there. After some, how you've been, how's life outside of graduation and stuff like that. You ask the librarian, you get pointed towards, so you can look. You only have time today to research one topic, so you can either research the tomb itself, the gods in, or you can research the gods themselves. Which one would you like to look into?
I think as she's kind of staring at the stacks and kind of making a mental list of where she knows everything is, over her shoulder at Magda and Caden, she'll say, "So, what do we want to focus on? If we have to be a little bit more focused, what should we absolutely need to know?"
The tomb. I think anything about the tomb specifically.
Okay, she's going to investigate to try and find some books on the tomb.
Okay, Magda, do you have investigation proficiency?
I believe I do. I sure do.
All right, Claire, you may roll yourself, and Magda, you may roll, or one of you may roll with advantage. I'll leave that to you.
I have a pretty decent.
Without sharing your numbers.
Yeah, I'm also proficient in it, so I don't. It's up to you.
I'll help Clara.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's probably a good thing. So Clara, you spend the next couple hours until you realize that the candles have flickered on, and the day has been spent reading books. Magda, you have been going back and forth getting books for her. Caden, you have wandered around and probably found a title that piques your interest of some sort of fiction or something like that, or I don't know. What does somebody who doesn't really read do at a library? I don't
Art
know
books.
what that looks like.
Actually,
Yeah,
fine art of some sort.
The librarian points you in the directions of some drawings and things like that you look into. And so Clara, what you learn, and this is a little bit of exposition, but so prior to the wall being, after the wall was built, which was 5,000 years ago, about 1,000 years after that, a little bit less, all the factions went to war. But immediately after the wall was built, the gods went to their resting place to sleep. And it was a small pavilion on the edge of the mountains in a grove of trees. And when the factions went to war, and by factions, I mean all these different towns and cities have been sprung up. Different people were declaring themselves king or emperor. They were when the war started, it very quickly divided between the different races, monster races, and humans, and elves and dwarves. And they were basically warring over territory and land in this very small section of what used to be a very vast world. And this place of the gods sleeping, the gods, even though they were sleeping, had apparently a method of communicating with people if they came to the location. And and you find reference that there's a couple artifacts of great power that were there. And apparently, this place was the site of many battles as people wrested control over the god sleeping place back and forth. Now, Hana, it was not actually resting there. She was the protector of the location, and basically, she's not required to sleep, as she did not take part in the changing the course of human history by herself, like actually physically interacting in the building of the wall. Because of this, she finally stood up and said, "The gods have decided that they will no longer be answering any questions. You guys need to figure life out on your own." With a will of her power, she returned all the artifacts to the tomb, or to the resting places of the gods. And and the gods stopped answering questions. Shortly thereafter, the people came together and made peace with each other. And they each decided that they would send some of their best artisans to build a tomb or a protected sleeping place for these gods. And they did. And what they did was they interred some of the champions of the gods. They interred champions of the war, brave people who from all sides who've been cut down, and anybody else that they felt was a important person. They interred here with the gods. The gods basically are sleeping in coffin type things. And then they locked it and they closed it. And so once peace was achieved, and when they locked the door, they made it so that it could only be opened when the gods were ready to awaken. So after 5,000 years had passed, which now the clock was something like 3,900 and change. Years were past, the lock could be open, but there was a way of bypassing that lock if more people need to be interred inside. However, since no champions have appeared in the last roughly 4,000 years, the door has not been opened as far as these records show. The tomb has many different names: the resting place of the gods, God's tomb, God's inn. Currently, the name that's being used is God's inn because for some reason people like that name. The people who built the tomb, it was a collaboration of 4 families: the Stonecutters, the Thorns, the Kingfishers, and the Quivens. The Stonecutters were obviously the dwarves. The Thorns were humans. The Kingfishers were half-orcs, and the Quivens were elves. Right before the door was closed, the chosen of each family went in one last time, and then they left. The door was closed behind them. What happened inside is not recorded, and the doors were shut and locked after they had left. And then each of the families went their separate ways. Based upon your history and research, the Stonecutters went back to mining and have become one of the richest mining factions that there are. However, they've since fallen on hard times in the last 80 years or so, but it hasn't caused them to go bankrupt. The Thorns became a lineage of advisors and have been in charge of the burials for the last 4,000 years. Anthony Thorn. The Kingfishers left the land and went to a small island off the coast. There they started a food empire, and they're currently the nation's source for most of the leather and meat that one would eat if they had the coin. And the Quivens started off running the Forest Watch and have created a legacy of running the watch. And now a Quiven is actually in charge of the watch and has been for the last 2,000 years. It has changed hands, but it's almost always a Quiven. And that is the legacy of God's Inn. Any questions? I saw. Magda and Kaden, I'm assuming she's sharing pieces of this as she's learning, so you're welcome to.
Would there be any notion of how many artifacts of great power there had been kind of floating out in the world before they returned?
Yes, there are 4 artifacts of great power.
Okay. Scrolling through my list of things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
While you're thinking of questions, we're going to switch over to Olivia and Hurtler. Olivia, as you stride out to head, you look behind you and realize the Hurtler is following you.
Hi. I'm following you.
Glad I didn't take a drink.
I thought you were going with whatever. You sure? Come on.
All right. Tra-la-la-la-la. We're walking. We're walking.
You talk a lot.
I don't think that you talk enough. You've got some really good ideas in that brain of yours, and you should let them out sometimes. More frequently. Anyways, sorry. What? You were just trying, and I just cut you off. I'm sorry.
Let's go.
You guys walk for quite some time, making your way back to the barracks, and you thread through. Most of the troops have left the yard by now, and you make your way back to the barracks, and you basically head in towards where the information is kept. There's a group of people whose job it is to do research and stuff and basically help you solve whatever puzzles. They keep track of current criminals and bounties and things like that. Information on cases, case records, stuff like that. Whenever you, Olivia, have had a case where you've been having to track down something, or there's like a serial killer or a serial thief or something like that, at the end of the day, you come back and give the information to these guys because they're the central intelligence of, they help convey the information around the rest of the different sections and help the city itself maintain a collective of information so nobody's able to just jump from district to district. You don't recognize anyone at the counter, which isn't unsurprising considering the number of people who've been scraped to leave. But as you come in, he sees your watcher uniform and sort of straightens up. Yes. What can I do for you?
I need information about paranormal monsters, ghosts.
Ghosts themselves. Ooh, very interesting. Hold on one moment. And he walks into the back and he spends, he's gone for about 30 minutes or so. He comes back with 3 or 4 different tomes and he steps them down on the counter. All right. This is just an overview of possible paranormal monsters that can come from, creatures that have died in agony or something like this. This one has a small 2-page insert about ghosts, and then this one has a lot of information, esoteric information in regards to just dangerous things in graveyards, zombies, ghouls, specters, and things like that. Wasn't sure what you really needed, but here's the tomes. You're welcome to sit over there, or I can tell you what I know about them. And if you don't feel like
I'll
reading
just
through,
take the books. That'll do. Yeah.
I'm
right.
interested.
You talk to
Hi.
him. I'll go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're not exactly a watcher, are you? What are you, specialized informant or something?
I'm between jobs right now.
Oh, yeah, good old unemployed, eh? I suppose I could tell you what I know.
You can tell him.
I want to know the spookiest stories you have to tell.
Never mind. Don't
Well,
tell him.
I really don't have a whole lot of spooky stories. I just pulled these up because she was asking about it. Honestly, ghosts is not something we deal with on a regular basis. It's more like, the most scary group of things that we deal with are shape changers or changelings. Those ones are the dangerous ones. But outside of that, we don't tend to deal with a whole lot of ghosts. They tend to be something created when somebody dies and they still have unfinished business or something like that. Generally speaking, granted, there's many different versions of that. There's ghosts that then there's a weaker version, like a cursed spirit or something like that. If you do encounter a ghost, though, just be careful because they can take over your mind and your body. They're very, very, very dangerous. Far too dangerous for you, probably.
And you're saying that shape changers are more spooky than that?
Well, shape changers can look like anybody.
I don't know, something about taking over my mind and body. It's kind of terrifying.
Not your mind, just your body. Just your body.
Oh, well, in that case, I guess I won't be shitting my pants on this journey.
Oh, you guys are ghost hunting. Oh well. If you succeed, we can give you a new tag, Ghost Hunters.
Okay. Okay then. I don't know what to say to that. Sure.
I don't. Yeah. Sure. Good luck. Yeah. And he goes back to his business.
I guess I'll just go over here next to Olivia. Olivia, what have you learned in this 45 seconds?
It's hard to read with so much talking.
I'll be quiet now.
I think you went the wrong direction in this.
What do you mean?
probably should have gone with Clara.
Who? Me?
Yes, you.
And what about, and you not with me?
Uh, what?
What are you trying to say? You're trying to
You
say that
you should have gone with Clara.
I
instead
should
of
have,
coming
and without
here.
you?
What?
You wanted to go out here alone?
Yes.
You're breaking my heart, Olivia.
I push a book at you. Just read this. Let's just go to that coffee shop and read.
All right. That sounds like, well, can we do that? Are we allowed to take the books?
We're taking the books. Let's just go. You can't do anything about it. We steal the books. Go to the coffee shop.
Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to take the books with you.
Oh no,
but,
we take the books.
He's helping somebody else that doesn't notice until you're gonna get yelled at when you get back. You go to the coffee shop and sit down and read the books. Heard you actually get a nice cup of coffee. It's delicious. It tastes fantastic. Give me just a acrobatics check, both of you. Well, you're reading expensive books with fine coffee.
Oh,
It varies
boy.
how much lands on
Oh, that's
books.
what you mean.
It's these jowls. It's the jowls. They just slurp it all over.
Oh, it's so.
Thankfully, you don't spill any on the books. But
There
you
was
have
Close one.
there was
With that.
yeah. I was if those had been flipped. Yeah. But yes, you don't spill anything on the books. You have learned about ghosts. Feel free to look in the monster manual. If you encounter any spooky spirits or something, actually give me both of you investigation checks, just so I can see how much you glean from this. Yeah, there you go, Herd Alert. Reading and digging into things feels like your old job. And so yeah, if you run into spooky things, we'll have said you have read up and the knowledge is rather fresh in your mind. The rest of the evening goes by. You go back to your homes. I'm assuming, even though you didn't say, you plan to meet up somewhere. Since you all went separate ways, you meet up on the edge of town at the gate, heading out the next morning, and that is where we're going to take our break. Hey, Maestro, how long is our break? 10 minutes. We are going to take a 10-minute break. So if you need to go to the bathroom or research ghosts, this is the time to do it. And we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Furiously researching ghosts.
And that's why we're never moving to Canada, folks. Oh, no.
See?
Harsh.
Anyway, I just. So I had a question from the cast. When do we give inspiration? Well, you can give inspiration whenever the moment happens. So if it's on your heart to give away an inspiration, this would be a good time to do it.
All right, I give inspiration to Herd for his impromptu therapy.
Fantastic.
Herd
has inspiration.
I kind of wanted to give one to Herd for just an apology for being so mean.
Not how inspiration works, and he already has one.
I would like to give one to you, Olivia, for being so mean to me, because it's role-playing your character perfectly.
Olivia, you have an inspiration for being mean.
You should have just said it. It's true.
So on your sheets, there's up by your picture, there's a little inspiration icon, and if you click it, I clicked yours, Olivia. It should be glowing, pulsing blue to remind you that you have it.
I will promptly forget.
Well, it's there, pulsing blue. If you don't use it, you don't use it. You can't get another one. So the evening before, Clara, Olivia, and Caden, Magda, Clara, and Caden, you guys have a nice dinner. Clara, I'm assuming Magda, you pick a nice restaurant, not like super posh.
Yeah, decent restaurant. It's not super.
More Olive Garden rather than Chili's. No.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Olive Garden is what? Isn't it
Fantasy
like
Olive Garden. It's now a thing.
microwaved noodles?
No, they don't
Endless
actually
breadsticks.
microwave their noodles. They leave them in a pot all day, and they just keep adding more and pulling out from it.
That's what
That's
Panera
better.
does.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be
Anyway,
revealing trade secrets.
you guys have a nice dinner. I and get a chance to get to know each other a little bit more. I don't know that I'm going to give you a whole bunch of time to roleplay that though.
Yeah.
Because it's fine. Yeah. But now you're best of friends. I don't know.
One dinner.
I
One
mean,
dinner.
one dinner with
Yeah.
Claire, probably.
I am
Very
very
good.
positive.
Sarah and Magda, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really
My
trying to
dog
like
needs
charm Caden so that he's a little bit nicer to my family.
When you say that, you know what we mean.
Aside to Magda, she certainly smiles a lot. This is more than I've seen. Anyway,
How is it so bright?
You meet in the morning. In the morning, you meet at the gate to head out of the city. You have a 2-day walk ahead of you on a well-traveled road. This is more walking than you've probably done in quite some time, Magda and Caden. Like straight hiking down the road. I don't know that you've done this since you were kids. But Olivia, this is Tuesday. And Clara and Hurdler, I don't really know for your guys' background, but you guys spend a lot of time walking, and you have nothing to do but talk to each other for 2 whole days. It's an uneventful. You pass other travelers on the road. There's some goblins that live out here that you kind of pass them as well. But for the most part, there is nothing to do other than talk to each other for 2 days. So I'll give you a couple minutes to talk if you wish over the course of the 2 days.
Magda,
Mm-hmm.
what's that? And I point at her arm. Like, what is it supposed to be?
It's a tattoo. Kaden
Well-
did it for me.
It looks nice, but like, what is it supposed to be?
There's a snake, can't you see? And flowers.
Oh, right.
And pull up my sleeve. There's like a bird here.
Now that you say it, it's so obvious.
Caden, you can give tattoos? I didn't know you were artistic.
He's very skilled.
I do some. I only really for Magda, and the ones you see on me, but you actually don't see many on him. There's like a couple little poking out from like the neck or the wrist and stuff like that, but that's about it.
Well, it's beautiful work.
Thank you. Thanks.
Would you consider doing tattoos for anyone else? You know, I'm thinking about getting like the teardrop because sometimes I cry.
That seems fitting with your therapy stuff
Seems
you got
like,
going on here. Very in touch with
And
how
I'll
you're
think
feeling.
to, imprint on yourself.
I'm sorry, Magda. What did you say?
It seems like an odd thing to sort of imprint on yourself.
Well, I mean, why is that? I mean, you have a snake. Why is a teardrop more odd?
Well, you're talking about an emotion, you know. Do you want to cry all the time?
No, but you know, I do. You're making me cry right now just thinking about that.
I'm sorry.
Stupid idea.
Well, maybe you should put like I don't know, like a sparkle or something, and so you can aspire to be smiling all the time.
He's a big blubbering bugbear.
I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to cry. Your idea is wonderful.
It's okay. It's okay.
I think it would look very handsome on you, Herd.
Thank you.
Heard, I don't usually recommend tattoos on the face, but if you want that, I could probably. I've never tattooed anyone else, but
I think Magda talked me out of it.
okay.
Sorry,
I'd be
Herd.
interested.
Well, yeah. You know,
She's
if-
trying
if-
very hard to seem cool.
if this working together continues on beyond this job, we can talk about it. Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome. She's also slightly regretting saying that now.
Is there something in particular you want?
She kind of looks at Olivia and like shuts her mouth. Says, "Oh, "We could talk about it later."
Clara, I never knew you were so hardcore.
That's me, the most badass member of this family.
About that, I have got to know. You said all three of you are related?
Yes.
Can't you tell?
A little, yeah, sometimes. In the right lighting. There's got to be a story behind that.
Oh, my father was a bugbear, and their fathers were not bugbears.
So you all have the same mother?
Yes.
That's
I understand if it's a touchy subject. But I'm
You know
very
what it
curious.
is, but I think that there's, value in sharing these sorts of things, emotional value. And so I'll tell you that, when we went to that courthouse, we're going to see our mother, and she's an Eladrin, and they're kind of moody, depends on the season. Sometimes even as her son, I don't completely understand it. I think Clara and Olivia have a better understanding of this. But anyways, she is in the mines, and we have to come up with $10,000, 10,000 gold pieces, USD, whatever, to
Freaking Canadian.
It's Canadian Day. We're gonna go with Canadian.
Canadian Day.
to free her from the mines. Otherwise, she'll be there for the rest of her life. And it's really tough because I just lost my job, and
Oh dear.
It's been a week.
you're gonna make me cry again.
imagine.
But I guess I brought this
Do you want a
upon
hug?
myself. Yes.
Step up and give him a very awkward hug.
Oh.
So
It'll all be all right, Hurt. You just got a new job. Things are looking up.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
So you guys have a pleasant 2-day walk.
Pleasant.
Lots of crying.
A surprising amount of crying from Herd.
Not that surprising.
It's not for us, at least.
Yeah, we're used to it.
I'm surprised.
Magda's, but she won't say anything.
Yeah. But you guys approach on the second day. You guys, towards the end of the second day, you guys approach the area outside of God's Inn. Now, the God's Inn has this huge, like, open area just across from it where people would camp and rest, and they would, this would be part of the pilgrimage, so they'd stay here for a couple days and pray and touch the, write notes or something on the walls of the inn. And the inn itself is actually just a giant tomb, and the outside of it is very grandiose. It's made out of black marble that goes with these piers, these what are they called? What are they called? The
Spires?
Spires, with spires and archways. There's 4 archways, one for each of the gods, and there's a giant stone black marble door with 4 handprints in them of various sizes, right about chest height. There's a couple steps leading up. Currently, the doors are swung wide open, and you can't see inside. There's this film, like this white, glowing, pulsing barrier to step inside that you can't quite see inside. And then when you look off to the other side in the clearing, you see that a group of goblins seem to have taken it over. It is it looks like, well, not taking it over completely. It's they have taken up and built a short wall and a couple spikes, like they made a tiny little fort. And then on inside of the fort are 2 towers that are facing the road in the God's Inn. And there's some goblins sitting up on top of them, and they are but the rest of it, you can see there's a traveler at one of the camping spots. So they haven't taken over the entire thing; they just have taken over some of it, and apparently have made their home here. And you can see that they are sort of the goblins that are on top are just sort of watching you as you arrive and kind of get your bearing and look around.
Is it kind of like, would it be a thing leaving like little notes of prayers in the stone in the wall or something? Like how do people generally? Yeah, okay. Claire would probably
or
do
they'll
that.
write on it. Okay, so
She'd
leave
like
a little note
has a
or
little
prayer.
note and slips it in the wall, making it look like she is just another pilgrim, but did actually write something.
Okay. So what do you guys want to do? You see there's a road. To the left of you is the clearing where the goblins are. To the right of you is God's Inn with the doors open and a thin magical barrier of sorts.
Well, we're supposed to be looking into what's going on at this place. There's certainly a lot of activity here with the goblins. Magda, I'm wondering if perhaps we should talk to them.
Yeah. Do they seem? Is there anything that makes them seem like the same? Not necessarily the exact same goblins, but like the same sort of situation as the goblins we encountered in the house, where they used to be part of the trust association and they were hired out.
They're quite a ways away. If you guys sort of want to wander over, there's some camping spaces. And why don't I just bring you to the map? I don't know. Is it black for you guys? It looks like it's gonna be black for you guys. So let me drop you here. There we go. You should be able to see.
Aha.
Yeah.
It's still loading.
Are we supposed to not be able to see behind the wall?
Correct. Well, it's a wall, so you can't see through walls. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Is it supposed to be gray?
Yeah, it looks like a huge gray map, just gray.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not seeing my token. It's the second time. Last time I just refreshed and it worked. So should I just refresh quick?
We'll just go
refresh
through that.
quick. It might be it's still loading for you guys.
I can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see it.
What you guys have problems? I should probably not be throwing my dog a thing.
Oh, just got some audio as well.
Yep.
It's all good for me now.
Excellent.
It worked.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
All right.
The
I think
stream is not seeing the tokens though.
The stream should probably reload his page too.
Yeah.
I think we're below what.
Well, I'm watching it go down. Yeah, Kevin, I don't know if you can see them yourself, but doesn't look like they're. Anyway, you guys, you guys, this is basically what's in front of you as you sort of look around.
Any kind of insignia, identifying markings on the goblins or the wall or anything around them?
On the wall. I currently have it. I just have to prepare it. Allure Dune, and then wrapped around it is a rose. So it's a symbol of a rose wrapped around the symbol of Allure Dune.
I would be careful around this group. I think they're associated with Rose. Actually, I think it's a sure bet that they are.
Yeah, these barricades here don't look too good. This looks like a defensive fortification.
Oh yeah.
This isn't your stuff, Herd?
I don't know these goblins. Just because I speak goblin doesn't
Well,
mean...
you used to work for the association.
Right, yeah. That's fair. Maybe I could go talk to them.
I could send Kafka if you wanted.
I mean, the goblins that we encountered before, they used to work for the Trash Association and were hired out by Rose. So
Maybe.
Mhm.
Claire, why don't you send your familiar and just get like a bird's eye view of the place, see what kind of weapons they have.
Let's go, the rest of us, why don't we go act like we're going to set up camp, like, any other pilgrim.
Yeah, I will do this. Someone will need to lead me around. I won't be able to see or hear.
Sure.
Anything happen
Take my
here?
hand. Take my hand.
Okay.
Where can we just set camp here?
Yeah, I was just gonna head to one of the places, like, around the...
I suppose
Yeah.
you don't need my hand. You're just going to be standing there.
Just standing, staring into the middle distance.
Yeah, I was just gonna when we find the camp place, I just put my hands on your shoulders, push you down onto the ground, and then just
Probably a little bit more forcefully than.
Yeah. stay.
Yeah,
Alright, so-
I'll send Kafka kind of like doing a high loop and then settling probably on one of the walls, not like getting too close to the towers, just trying to see
Sure.
into that.
Sure. You send him up. Him. Up. Flying over. This area. Inside, they seem to just be sitting around. The goblins at the top are just watching the road. They don't have an aggressive posture. Give me an insight check.
Okay.
I had this problem where I just tell everybody everything and then, never leave any place for rolls like that.
Oh,
However, goblins aren't your forte. They are armed. They are
wait,
all armed.
Am I using the owl stats instead of mine?
No. For insight, you use your own. It's perception
it.
that you get to use the owl stats.
Trying to save myself.
Yeah, sorry. I know the rules. So as you are flying over, you can't figure out why they're here, but there's a good, 2, 4, 10 of them roughly. It looks like a hobgoblin and a bugbear.
Okay, I'm gonna relay that back. That's probably gonna look pretty weird, just like staring into the middle distance. I don't know if like her eyes glaze over, but she's gonna relay that information back to the group around her.
All right, so the next idea is that I go talk to them. But before I go do that, I think we should all agree on what I'm going to say, or the general direction.
Symbol of Aloradun.
I could say, "Oh yeah, I'm another bugbear. I'm just arriving late. Tell me the plan."
Did you keep that your badge from work?
I did. I can show the badge, proving that I am from the GTA, the Goblin Trash Association in Pajama.
Maybe you can tell them that you're checking up on them?
I don't think they were necessarily still a part of the guild after joining Rose's group. I mean, they were hired by her.
Maybe he heard it's a new job opportunity, and he wants to join them.
That could work. That could certainly work.
And what about the rest of you? Is this a solo mission? If I get caught, am I going to be there, exposed by myself?
Oh, I can.
Kafka's there.
This kind of thing?
What?
Are you used to this kind of thing? Going and talking your way into places?
No.
I could come with you.
Then I'm going with you.
Why don't we all go? And I can just say, hey, they're cool.
Yeah, real cool.
Sure. Let's see how this goes.
All right, you make your way over to the front, and as you do, one of the goblins speaks behind him, and heard you understand him. He goes, Thord, there's people coming up, and the bugbear breaks away from the group that's over here and sort of walks up to meet you guys. He approaches and says in common, "Can I help you guys?"
Yes. Well, I'm from the GTA, and I take out my badge and I show it. Oh,
Okay.
and yes, I suppose I'm looking for some job opportunities, and these guys behind me, they're cool.
You came all the way out to the God's Inn to look for a job opportunity?
It's only 2 days. I wanted to stretch the old legs. You know what I mean, fellow bugbear.
Fellow human.
That always goes well.
Right. Well, we are sort of here on a job at the moment. Can't exactly hire any new people or anything.
Well, that's fine because we actually work for free.
You're looking for a job opportunity, stretching your legs that you can work for free.
I look to the team like, help
Roll
me.
me persuasion.
Roll what?
Roll me persuasion. I almost want to put this at disadvantage, but that's not fair to the player who might not have a easy time coming up with what to say. So it's just going to be normal.
You have inspiration.
Sure, yeah, I was gonna say it's actually gonna be at advantage, Matt, because of my inspiration.
All right.
Wait, was that perception?
Perception.
That was
That's
perception.
perception.
Okay.
We're so close. Too bad you burned your inspiration.
No.
What?
No.
Wait, that doesn't really.
That's
No.
not how it works.
That's not how it works.
No.
15.
It's
Oh.
15.
okay.
He
I thought.
is intrigued. Not convinced. Yeah. So you're looking for a job and you work for free.
You'll have to forgive my friend here. He has some social anxiety. Sometimes things just start coming out of his mouth that
I'm from the GTA.
he works for the Trash Association, but he's hoping for something a little more lucrative, and we heard through the grapevine that some people were hiring out of the GTA. And so he wanted to check it out, and I'm here for moral support.
And the rest of the
Other
clan?
moral support.
He needs a
I really
lot of
just
moral
wanted to
support.
I just really wanted to see the God's Inn and tagged along.
Yeah.
But it seemed like a worthy, just helping escort.
I'm just a
Right.
bodyguard. I have no association.
You know what? Enough about us. Tell me about you.
Well,
What's your name? friend?
Rose might have been hiring. I'm Thurg.
Third.
Rose might have been hiring. Most of us did come out of the Trash Association or weren't, didn't have any other jobs. She's kind of particular, though. And I think I don't have any authority to hire. I mean, the job here is really boring. Really boring.
What do you do?
And it
Exactly.
doesn't pay a hell of a lot, but we're goblins, so we're not supposed to necessarily be at the top of the pecking order, according to Rose. We just watch the God's Inn.
Are you looking for anything specifically?
Oh, we're waiting
Is it
to see
supposed
if
to do
anyone goes
something?
in.
Oh.
Those, I mean,
Okay.
you wouldn't want that, right? Or
GM
would you?
question.
GM
So the
question.
garden you said is sealed.
It used to be. It's not
Used-
anymore. It's open at the moment.
Okay, so
the research, the books that they read would have said it's been sealed for 4,000 years and nobody's gone in. The events of your one shot or the one shot that people went into it happened like 3 weeks ago. So
Is
they
that
don't
news
go
that would have made to us though?
No, that wasn't widely spread. It wasn't ever on a
Okay.
news bulletin that anyone had gone in.
So
They didn't want people coming and plundering it, so it's sort of been here.
our characters wouldn't know that it's currently unsealed.
You would. The doors are wide open. You would
So
know that
that's-
the doors are supposed to be shut and they're wide open. Sorry,
Ah,
GM Phobal there, but yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty obvious that it's open.
okay. All right.
There's a magical barrier though. You're not sure if you can step through it or not.
Right. So
Hypothetically, Magda, why don't?
well, it's just interesting. I mean, I didn't know the doors were actually open.
Happened a couple weeks back. That Ken Fury guy raided the tombs and stole some stuff out of there.
Oh, he's stole them.
15,000 reward if you ever find him.
I heard that. Yeah. I think everyone heard that.
Yeah, I should be. I wish I was out there looking for him.
Yeah, I bet.
Heard rumor from anyway.
You heard
But,
rumor?
Heard a rumor?
Oh, I'm not sharing that with you. I'm gonna follow it myself and get the 15,000.
Oh,
I see that.
It's okay. I'm a bugbear. You
enough,
can
fair
tell
enough.
me.
Oh, I'm the bugbear too, and I ain't telling you shit. What's the Goblin Trash Association have all the way out here? Usually they're pretty localized to the sectors. People tend not to leave.
Well,
He's on
it's
leave
not.
right now. That's why he's out job hunting, taking a bit of leave.
Really, leaving the Trash Association, that makes good pay.
I look to Mega.
Well, we heard a rumor that it was better pay.
Nah,
With
couple
Rose.
silver a day. Most of us didn't have a job.
Fair enough.
But well, sorry to disappoint y'all.
Thank you for
enjoy
your
your walk back to town.
Are we
Um,
allowed to go in the God's Inn?
I mean, what business would you have in there?
Curiosity?
We've sent a couple goblins in. They've never come back.
So you can go in through that barrier?
Well, technically, yes. We've sent some goblins through the barrier. But since they've never come back, I don't know if they died going through the barrier or not.
So then,
Well,
what exactly is
See them
your
on the
job?
outside.
Oh, I told you. I'm just watching it.
You're just
Well-
watching people go in and never coming out, and that's your job.
How about we go in there and get them back for you? We're not goblins, most of us.
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. Couple
Seems a little mean.
Just a couple goblins. It's not gonna hurt anything. But if anyone were going in, we gotta. Rose is paying us good money to tell her. But outside of that,
Well, if we were to go in, I don't know this Rose character, but
Rose,
No,
champion
I-
of Olardun.
I just don't know her that intimately. Anyways, I could get you a pretty good job if you didn't.
Why wouldn't you want me to tell her?
Well,
Are you planning on plundering the tomb just as well? Are you planning on plundering the inn?
Oh no! You misunderstand. Nope. Never mind.
Give me
He's just a little shy. Just-
deception. I think our conversation's done. Good day.
Thanks for
You
your
have
time.
a great day.
And he just goes back in.
I was just kidding.
Okay.
Come on.
I think that's enough.
Let's just go.
I'm sorry, guys.
Well, it
Let's
was your
just
first
wait.
time doing it. It could have gone worse.
Let's just wait till nighttime and sneak in.
I mean, do we have to sneak?
Yeah, they said we can't go in.
I mean, they don't. I mean, they know Herd's name, but they don't know our names. How are they going to tell Rose?
Do they know my name?
I don't think
I
you're
mean,
gonna do.
we're
You showed
kind
them
of
your badge.
Yeah.
obvious.
I flashed it. I was, whoosh, whoosh.
You showed it
you
at the
held
end.
it
showed
like,
it
you
twice.
showed him. You showed it.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, they don't know who we are.
Like
Didn't get a
we're
chance to ask about the watchers who disappeared.
oh, I guess I could have said I was researching that. Huh? Should I do that?
No
I
harm.
mean,
Let's.
you could also just
well,
wait for the guard rotation.
Yeah, I think let's wait for the guard rotation. Talk to a new face, and
That
You
guy
know-
looks like he's actually in charge of the whole camp. Like
ah,
Oh.
guards weren't. They didn't just call him. They just called the boss over.
Let's just come on. Let's try. Let's go one more time.
all right.
I'm gonna talk.
I'll back you up.
Claire
I
is
liked
not
your
going with.
talk about.
I
I like
walk
your
out-
idea of a bodyguard thing. I'll come with you for that.
Oh boy.
Skirt.
So you no, it just cracks me up. I'm thinking of yeah. So you come up and you go, what? Oh, can I help you?
I want to look into the watchers that left.
Okay.
I was going with him just to like watch his back so he didn't get mugged on the street. You can see he's kind of a softie. I need to make sure
Looks
that
like a
the watch.
puss, really.
Yeah, really, he is. He wanted to get a tear tattoo because of emotions. Anyway,
For like killing somebody.
yeah, no, but he thought it would be a good feelings thing. He likes those.
He should do it. He should totally do it.
Maybe you'll convince him to do it. It might be funny.
I'm right here, guys.
Heard. Anyway, I think it was part of my duties to go in there and make sure that nobody left anything.
Sure.
just-
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, thanks. See ya. Let's go.
Can you ask him about the rumors? What happened about to the other guards?
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, how many of them died again?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know.
Rose didn't tell us a whole lot. Just a bunch of them broke in. One of them came out, stole something. Ken Fury, 50,000 gold.
Mm.
I heard there was rumors about a ghost.
Nothing. Nobody I've known has come back out alive. So the goblins we've sent in.
Fair. All right.
Well, I mean, ghosts wouldn't be alive.
Look,
Ghost-
I know you're trying to just cover all your bases and stuff, but
think we
we're just
should-
here to watch.
Yeah. All right. Come
I'm
on.
just gonna go.
Okay. Yeah, you guys. This isn't the entrance. This is the area just crosses. Yeah.
Start confidently walking the
You
wrong
started
direction.
Yeah. They don't stop you. Look around, turn around, and walk out.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And as he walks back, he turns up to them and says, in Goblin, keep an eye on them. You guys cross the road and go into the God's Inn.
Just the
Stopping
door.
before the magical barrier, I think.
All right, so you stop before the magical barrier.
Can I mean, it's obviously a magical barrier. I'm detecting magic would not really do anything about that. Except to give some more information.
Do you want to get rid of it?
I mean, I don't think I have anything to dispel it.
No.
Caden's gonna pick up a stick and throw it through.
Oh God. Clara hops back
Um,
behind him.
Back.
It just goes through.
What about your
Looks fine.
little friend?
Yeah, send it.
Oh, Kafka. Yes. Sure. She's very hesitant to send her magical familiar through a magical barrier.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
You want me to toss him through too?
No. Please don't toss my owl.
I was
That's why I
considering
asked.
as well.
Yeah, he can fly.
Yeah.
It's fine. Thank you for asking first, but yeah, don't throw my owl, please. And she's gonna like scratch Kafka under the beak and send him in, or
Okay.
try and send him through.
He flies through the barrier without an issue.
Can I see what's on the other side?
No, you don't see anything through his eyes.
Oh,
Did you give him any instructions?
I probably would have just sent him to come through and like do a circle so that I could try and see, but obviously if I'm not seeing anything, and then try and come back.
Okay. One quick second. Don't worry about me.
That sounds like we should worry.
No, worry about your owl. Don't worry about me.
If you're gonna kill my owl.
Welcome to my version of D&D, where familiars die every session.
It'll come back.
Yeah, but
What's your owl's
Look.
AC?
the owl's AC. Let me pull up that its stats on Find Familiar.
Called plot
Uh,
armor.
Yeah, it's called that. It's an 11 actually.
It flies out.
I am looking very relieved. I thought this was gonna go very bad. Does he seem fine?
Seems fine.
Okay.
Did your,
I have a
did your owl,
ruffled feather, but that's basically it.
what'd your owl see?
That it's funny. I couldn't see once he passed through the barrier. I think it might be blocking our connection.
I don't know too much about, magic and stuff, but can't you just like ask it?
Can I just talk to it?
I
What's
don't
your-
know.
Nope. The owl is
yeah.
not a reconnaissance. There are 16 people inside.
He's
Two
not
of them are-
awakened.
Right.
He's just a spirit in the shape of an owl.
Okay.
Would it make you guys feel better if the magical effect was gone?
I mean, I don't. If it's gonna block
Claire,
magic,
give me an
I'm fine.
Arcana check.
Right, I have that.
Yeah, I'm a wizard.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
great at this.
You know what Olivia has, maybe
Like-
or do not, but you know that this is the God's Inn, home of the deities of the world, and it's unlikely that a dispel magic spell is going to do anything to any magic barrier or anything like that. Created this, even if it wasn't held up by them, it was made by some powerful people 4,000 years ago. So, in all probability, whatever this barrier is, not going to.
So one thing that I am worried about is if we go in this barrier, regardless of whether or not we can come out, those goblins over there are probably going to go tell Rose, and we risk the chance of there being some people to apprehend us when we come back out.
If we come back out.
If we come back out.
We don't even know where Rose is. She could be here somewhere. They could notify her immediately. Perhaps
Wait, didn't-
Olivia's idea of going in at night wasn't so bad an idea.
Didn't Anthony say something about Rose's location, or did he just say that her location was unknown?
Current location unknown.
Shit, okay. Okay.
But he said that she was trying to hunt down a fisherman.
Right.
Current location unknown.
Okay.
Are we anywhere near water, as far as we know?
No, not anywhere close.
Okay.
Maybe we're okay then.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah.
If we're on a time limit, then we should go as soon as possible. If goblins have gone in there and not come out, I don't think we should leave our camp supplies out here. We should
Oh,
probably
agreed.
take-
Yeah.
I mean, if we wanted to go now, we could try and stash him in the woods, rather than take it with us, or we could just carry him.
Personally, I think we should probably take it with us in case we get stuck in there.
Well, I don't think we did like a full unpack kind of thing. We all decided to kind of go for the gate there, so we could just pick up our stuff and
Pick our bags
go in
back up.
then.
Yeah.
Now rather than night?
Yes. They know
Sure.
we're going in. They know we're going in already. We told them.
Yeah, let's go in.
Mhm.
All right. With the decision
Okay.
made, you step through the barrier. Let's pull you to a new map.
Oh God.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm hearing things.
Here's some sound, some rumbling.
Let's put you here.
I
Oh.
see nothing.
Oh my!
Put you here.
I see things.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
This is a lovely
As you
map.
step in, you you look out and you see you see what you see laid out before you. There are coffins or burial places of people laid out neatly along the floor. You can walk down these steps and walk along the center pathway. At the very end, there is 7 coffins laid out in a circle, and in front of the first coffin, the very front one, it's really not a coffin. It's more like a science fiction, glowing stasis chamber kind of thing. And in front of the very peak one at the center is a podium, and the podium is currently like 2 or 3 inches off the floor, and it has a book. As you kind of step in here, you see all along the floor, all along these steps, clothing, just ragtag, a couple daggers, some pouches, clothing of some things that look like they died in, like they're not died, sorry. There's no bodies, there's no bones, there's nothing like that. There's just clothing of about 6, you can make out to be about 6 goblins.
I don't like the look of that. Is there anything I'm going to rummage through it briefly. Is there anything of interest, any insignia?
One of them has a letter on him.
I will open that letter.
Okay. A piece of paper. You open the piece of paper, and you see. Let's see. Should I show to all or show to just one of you? I'll show to everyone. You see this letter.
Should one of us read it aloud?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, so since I have it, I'll read it. To whomever reads this letter, Rose, champion of Olordun, sent 4 of us here to the Tomb of Gods to seek answers. While we've always been taught there are 4 gods, 7 wrote to us in this chamber. Vanzarai, Olordun, and Ampher each spoke to us as 2 diverging minds, while Hana was a single voice. What this means we do not know, but their messages were at odds with each other. It became apparent that each good-natured response was accompanied by an evil-natured one. We grew wary, for the intentions of Rose may not align with the good of others. We learned of the secret ritual of 4 tribes and of its key components. Some of the gods urged us not to pursue the ritual, for devastation may follow. Others mentioned that the ritual can be controlled as to prevent devastation. Without knowledge of how to control the process, we reiterate the message of Vand. Do not seek out this ritual if there is beauty or life worth loving left in the world. The information we were given will not leave this tomb unless we can do so without relinquishing it to Rose. We have taken a scarab from Hannah's tomb, and it is imbued with protective powers. Perhaps it will sway the fight that inevitably awaits us outside. Proceed with caution, Flynn, Pip, Ken. We're sorry, Kenny.
I have pulled you to the non-animated map for your convenience, since one of the people's computers was lagging. So we pulled to the non-animated map.
This seems a lot bigger than originally described.
There's certainly a lot of warnings about Rose in that letter.
Yes.
I don't like it.
Did you say the person you found, their name was Pip?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And this one here is Ken. That must be Ken Fury, the one that they're all talking about.
I bet you're right.
It says they took the scarab for protection against her, or a fight.
I mean, it obviously didn't protect her if
Yeah.
she found this pip.
No
Well-
one's heard of Flynn?
No, I haven't heard about him. It seems it's always been just the two.
Pip
Is
and
there
Ken.
anything like resembling the scarab mentioned in the letters among the clothes?
No.
Okay, so that's probably with Kenny.
I mean, what about multiple gods? There's 4 gods.
Yeah, they seem to be
7 tombs.
suggesting 7.
Well, they said 3 of them had divergent minds. So
Yes.
is it possible that those 3, were embodied in, multiple bodies, I guess?
I think they are split somehow. Yeah. I think
It says they. Yeah, go ahead.
I think we should leave. I think we take this letter and we go.
This
Would
is
it-
probably information Anthony was looking for.
Exactly. I think we have the information right here. We have information on Rose, and these people were worried about a fight with Rose upon leaving. And right now, we are in an opportune moment where Rose is possibly out of the picture, at least not able to get here fast enough to apprehend us the minute we step out of this cave, most likely. And so we take our win and we go.
Would
As
it
you
not
guys are talking,
safer-
Clara, you walk down to the end where the podium is, and as you stand in front of the podium, it rises up and sets itself to be perfectly at perfect reading height. And there's a paper, there's 2 pages in this, looks like, and a book that's sitting on top of it. And at the very top, the letterhead where you would have the book title, it just says, "Speak your question."
Oh.
What's going on, Clara?
I
Clara?
mean,
It's in Sylvan, or Celestial, actually. It's in Celestial.
I do know how to speak Celestial. I think a book is trying to talk to me. Or us.
What's it saying?
It wants me to ask it a question.
It
Ask
says
what happened when the people we're looking for died.
That the book says that are the papers just like extraneous from that?
What do you mean?
Like, are they separate from the book? Like they're just sitting out?
No, these are the pages of the book.
Oh, these are
and
the pages of the book,
speak your
okay.
question would be where the title of the book is. So you know how
Okay.
when you open a book, the title of the book is sometimes on the top page, at the top or bottom of the page?
Yes.
So here it just says speak your question. So if you were to close the book and look at the front, the book is called Speak Your Question.
Okay.
If you go to touch the book, it doesn't move.
in that letter it says the gods told them things.
It's true.
It's got to be how.
I just don't know how many questions we get out of this. But I
Well,
can ask about the group that was here last.
ask them about the yes.
What if they there's been goblins here, random goblins. It might be referring to those instead.
I think that's also good to know. What happened to them too?
Yeah.
In Celestial, Clara's gonna ask what happened to the 4 watchmen that came here.
You wait a couple seconds, and as you do, words start to scroll across the page. And I had the wrong notes tab open. 1 second. This is me organized. One of these days, I'm going to have a whole session where I don't forget to open up a particular set of notes or something.
Because we'll definitely follow the story plot exactly as planned.
Well, it's not so much the plot. Right. Right. Yes, you guys are great at following the plot as planned. One second. I'm just opening up the necessary notes. Please,
It's gonna take me some time to translate it. It's fine.
Right. Words start to scroll across the page. Oh, son of a gun. I didn't have the notes written down. Oh, well, guess I'm making
It's
it up as I
cursing
go
at
on.
me.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I had some notes and then I lost them. I thought I had them somewhere, but I guess not. I thought I'd written them down anyway. But I guess I lost them. Oh, well. So you see Vand. It says Vand, as if you're reading a script. They did their best, and the information has been secured. But I fear that it was not enough. When they should not have fled, they should have simply died here.
Oh.
Then some more words come across. Adun. Adun says, "Order will prevail. They did as they tried to buck the system, but instead they did exactly as their position allowed. To simply die and get the information to Rose." And those are the only 2 answers to your question.
I'm gonna relay that back, like reading aloud as that's coming in. She's gonna try and ask another question. And in Celestial, she's gonna ask, why should they have died here?
No answer.
Grr.
Are you a helpful book?
So, yeah, they did die. We know one of them got away, though.
But this book is saying
2 of them got away.
they should have just died here.
They said that it wasn't enough. Something like that, right?
They tried their best. Order will prevail. They did as much as they could. They tried their best to buck the system, but instead they did exactly as their position allowed to get the info to Rose.
So Rose knows what happened here.
Maybe the information is with Ken Fury. And since there's, everyone knows about Ken Fury right now, everyone is looking for him. Maybe Maybe he has some information and he's not safe. Obviously, he's not safe. And when they find him, that information will be relayed to Rose.
You're
So
forgetting about Pip,
Oh,
who was in her possession till quite recently.
I am forgetting about Pip.
The book sinks back down to about 2 inches off the floor.
Can I pick it up?
As you go to pick it up, it doesn't move.
Okay. Just thought I'd try.
I
Sure.
think we should leave. I think we've got what we need.
Yeah, can we just take a second to realize that we're discussing that, what, a book told us something? Who do we think that we're...
Speaking to us, Caden.
It was the
It's
name of the
God's
god.
It's the god's tomb.
Vand? I don't know a god named Vand.
they said that there's more, apparently. I
I think we take what we have before we get cornered in here, and we go do what research we can elsewhere.
As Magda's saying this, I'm gonna have Kafka do a loop of the tomb because he has dark vision and just like look, kind of peering into corners.
Yeah,
just in
nothing
case.
stands out. While he's doing that, does anyone else go up to the book, or do you guys all leave it be?
I'm gonna leave it be. I want to do. I think Magda's right. I think you're right, Magda. I think that we should leave. I think we might be in danger.
I mean, someone else might be able to ask it questions.
if we can learn more about the fact that there's these extra gods, this is incredible information. And what are they talking about, a ritual, and that we shouldn't complete it? Why shouldn't we? Why should we just take the letter for...
These are all wonderful questions, but we cannot deny that the last two groups who came down here died. I do not want to be the third one. I think we take this, and we take what we've got and we move on.
I mean, I
agree.
think we knew that coming in, that was going to be a risk, no matter what. Like,
You guys,
Certainly,
we
but
can mitigate the risk by leaving now.
I mean, that group tried to flee, and some of them died for it when they shouldn't have fled. I don't know.
what are we
It's
going to do
just-
down here? Starve? They fled and died. The book said that they shouldn't have fled, they should have just died.
So... What we could just ask a few questions and then leave. It's just there's so much information we could get here. It seems like a waste to leave.
Honestly, if that book is going to tell me that I'm about to die, I don't want to hear it. I don't care what it has to say. I want to go.
Let's go. Magda, let's let them do what they want. Let's get going. And we don't even know who we're asking.
What?
All right.
One thing to note as you're down here and looking around, there on each of the tombs, I forgot to mention, there seems to be a spot at which item could go in. At the top of at this tomb at the very top is a place that looks like it would fit a scarab.
Hmm.
And then this one would fit the symbol of Eladun, a rod of some sort. This one would fit some sort of dragon, and this one would fit some sort of heart. And it's the same on the other side. Eladun, dragon, heart for the various gods.
Are there any like other objects around? We know that Ken Fury stole something possibly from here. I mean, other than the scarab.
Yeah. Nope, nothing around.
Okay.
Well, I know you guys well enough to know I'm not going to be able to convince you. So ask your questions and then let's leave. Kaden, Magda, I don't know you well enough to know if you're going to stick around or not, but do what you're going to do.
What should we ask, Claire?
You should ask why they were supposed to die. Or wait, pause,
Maybe.
strike that, rewind. Ask them how to leave here safely,
Hmm.
and she can
What-
translate that into Celestials and to help Olivia sound it out.
What about the? I'm just wondering if this. They specifically mention this ritual in the letter.
I think we can research the ritual later.
Okay, fine. I'll ask. I'll walk up to the
Okay.
book.
You walk up to the book. It rises up to be perfect height for you, and the words at the top of the page are that say "Speak your question" are in Undercommon.
How do we leave this place safely?
You get a reply from Alor. It's ALOR, or sorry, OLOR, that says, "There is no safe exit from this place. Stand strong, work together, and you may live. There's no way..." Or, nope, strike that. He says, "The information is out there now. And because of this, you must find the keys yourself." You also get a response from one second.
They're saying there's no safe way to leave, and that we gotta work together.
Caden, Magda, come back. We have to leave together.
You get a response from Pharee, Pharare, and it says, "If you are wise, you will throw yourself at the mercy of Rose. Share with her everything you have learned, and you may live. But you are mortals, so you will most likely not be wise."
Oh, they're telling us to trust Rose, tell her everything, and
Hell no.
No.
I don't trust her.
No.
Call me mortal, call me whatever you want. I don't trust her.
Gods. Let's
and
go.
to find the keys ourselves. I think I'm all right with leaving now.
Rose is looking for this fisherman. What?
Should we ask about the fisherman?
No.
Which table that. That's for a different time. Gotta get out of here.
I
go.
mean, we could do like about like 3 more questions, but I mean, no.
I'm fair. Yes. Anyone else could ask questions.
I mean, heard you could ask about the fisherman. I don't know.
I heard.
You hurriedly walk up to
Yes.
it. The book changes height to fit you perfectly. It just keeps going up and up and up, yep. And the words at the top are in Goblin.
Rose is seeking out this fisherman. What is his name, his or her name, and where can we find him?
You get a response from Van. "The Kingfishers stole one of the keys. The Jade Dragon. The Stonecutters stole the Rod of Power. And then you get a response from Adun that says, "The Quivens robbed us of the heart. And Ken Fury removed Hana's scarab. Give this information to the one that can unlock the tomb. Wake us up so we may come into the world in all of our glory. Tell
Yep.
this information to Rose.
Okay, I'm done here. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could ask where Ken Fury is, but if you want to go, that's fine too.
So, Magda and Kading, you've watched them ask the 3 questions. Are you guys trying to leave?
Magda, what are we doing?
I'm ready to leave.
I'm with you.
You can do what you want.
I'm always with you. Let's go.
All right.
So the fam sees that Magda and Kading, having given you just a couple minutes of asking questions, are turning and heading towards the stairs.
All right.
Wait. And she holds up a hand.
For what?
Let me just check and make sure that things are okay. And she's gonna cast Detect Magic as they approach where
Ritual
they came
or
in from.
spell?
I'm gonna say a spell because she wants to do this quickly, even though
Okay.
it brings me down to just 1 spell slot left.
This whole place is just radiating with magic. But you do not sense anything out of the ordinary. This whole place is absolutely magical. As you make your way up the stairs to the top, go ahead and stop moving your tokens. As you make your way up the stairs, up to the top, or rather as you get to about here, 2 specters float up out of the ground.
Yeah.
And they look at you see one who looks like this, and you see another who looks like this. A tiny little goblin and some sort of man covered in pots. And the man covered in pots and the goblin hold out their hand and they say in tandem, "What you have learned stays here." And that is where we will end our session.
Oh.
Absolutely not. No.
Oh man.
Oh man. Well,
there they
everyone,
are.
that was a game. A lot of RP there. That was fun. So as we end this session, thank you all for tuning in and watching. If you have questions or you just want to reach out to the cast, feel free to hit us up on Twitter, _Roll Inc, ROLLINC. We would love some feedback just on the game itself or technical things that might be bothering you or anything, or positive feedback as well. And we will see you. Next week's session is on the 8th. We will be recording that one on Sunday because I have a I'm taking scuba diving lessons. And I had set these up a long time ago. So the first lesson is on a Wednesday. And so I did not want to lose my $550 that I paid for it. So I am going to take my scuba diving lessons. So we're going to record our next session on Sunday, but we will be airing it at the exact same time. If you missed this session and you want to see, or you missed pieces, or you want to rewatch it, it's on VOD. It's on demand here. You can come and see it here, or you can hit it up on YouTube. It should be uploaded by Sunday. YouTube underneath the Dice Cult as well. Anyway, thanks all for coming and enjoying this game with us. I had a load of fun. Can't wait to see what happens next session as they fight these 2 previous incarnations from one shot, but that's more for later. And be safe out there. Wear your mask, and we'll see you next week. Bye.